Welcome back. I did a few things off stream that I wanted to go over real quick. I think I got all of the functionality done except these endpoints, but I don't know how useful those would be right now or if they really matter. So I got all of the applications ones done at this point, creating a user, verifying a user, getting a token, sending an email to help reset a password, and then actually updating that password. Um, so that's what I have so far. At least I have some amount of code written for it. I don't know how good it is, and I need to actually lint it before I even try to synth it. But I wanted to go over, I'll link that in the background. I wanted to go over the changes that were pushed to GitHub just to catch everyone up to speed if you're interested. So, unfortunately, I can't go in like any order that I really want to because I'm just going to follow the order of the files that were changed. But this is the logic for actually um, sending the reset password email. I guess maybe this directory could be a little bit better named, but it's given an email and an application ID, so that's pulled in from here. Oh, this is the wrong. And here, the application ID and the email are taken out of the request and put into a message, and that message is sent through SMS or SES, SMS, SNS. Bleh. There we go. Sent over here, it goes to the index and the port, so through the Lambda handler, or I guess it's not a Lambda handler in this case, it's an SNS handler, and the port gets to the logic, application email's hashed, create a reset token similar to everything else. All that does is this, it creates this item, so you need an email hash and a TTL because we don't need the user ID because all that is going to affect is the email login item. So we just have to be able to find the email hash. We already have the application ID, so we get the email hash, and then we will update the password hash. And it sends the email. Sending the email we'll get to in a second when we do. It's SES. I have never written code for SES before, so don't know how well that is going to actually go. Then in the users, there are a couple things. I pulled this now function out, because I started using it in a couple places. Then I have the reset password sort key, so I had to construct that just like I constructed the other ones, just to keep it uniform. And here you can see where the now function is used. I don't know how that hadn't been committed yet. Here we go, create reset token. So it's just creating that sort key. You have a TTL, then you generate a token, and you create the, you return the token. I don't actually return the token, so that's something I have to add in real quick. Let's create, no, create reset token. There it is. This needs to return the token. But I guess the token isn't even, oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a secondary ID. All right, then I need to, I took this readout. So instead of having all of this very similar, right, like where you check the item, if not you return an empty object, otherwise you pull the key of the secondary key out and return the data. Or the attributes. So I pulled that out into a function that was generic enough because pretty much all that was being used was, this was the only difference, was what item you're actually accessing. So that got pulled out into read attributes, and that helped with the sign in, reading the sign in verification, the sign in, and then the new reset token. So there's the read attributes. It's kind of funky with the diff, but yeah, it's what it looked like before. Just genericized. Then we have updating password. So again, we're going to update password with construct updates. All we need really to change is the password hash and the last password change. And then that uses the generic update just like the other ones would. Well, generic update. I guess I did change this. So that's similar to like read attributes or generic remove, where it just calls the DynamoDB API call with your ID, secondary ID, and then whatever you're trying to update. What was I going to do over here? Oh yes, there was something in the README that I changed as well. So I used to have in the user ID, I used to have this last password change, but passwords aren't necessarily user specific, they're sign-in method specific, so it's now in the email sign-in item. Removing is, so this was in the case that the TTL is expired or the token is used, then we just remove it. I don't know if I actually used that in code, but so let's check that real quick. That would be in password post. So after you check it, you update the password, and then you should remove, oh, that's sign-in verification. Oh, yeah, verification. I guess I just didn't do it for reset password. Did I actually add that, or was it just a funky diff? Or maybe I did add it in this. Yeah, it's there. I just didn't do it with the password one. Code reviews, look at that. They're doing something for me. Next, we have the SES code. So this is the stuff I'm not sure about. I create a client at the top level, and then I use it in this send email, this generic send email function. This is really what I'm confused about. There wasn't great documentation, especially when it came to message. I had to actually look through source to figure out the kind of shape of all this. The source is just what it's coming from. So this is now a config item, and that would be in here. So your source email address. Then your destination is, it has two addresses, and then there's like CC addresses and BCC addresses in case you want to like carbon copy people. Then there's the message, which has a subject, and there's also another, there's data, and then you can do like characters, I think. So you can do UTF-8 or whatever encoding. I'm just going to leave it as the default because I don't think I'm doing anything crazy. And then the body, you can do HTML or text. I did HTML because these are in HTML. Which leaves just the two emails that are being sent. So all it does is construct the body, the HTML body pretty much. And then it sends the email. That's it. In Crow, I required people to set a reset password URL and a verification URL. It got kind of confusing if you didn't do that, and then people tried to sign in because it didn't make much sense why you couldn't sign in. I made those optional now. So you'll have probably noticed in the, it's not there, in the reset password async lambda, whenever I read the application, I get the application data, and then I get the reset password URL. So if it's there, good stuff. If it's not, then we just won't send it with this little paragraph at the bottom. It would be more confusing for users if they didn't know where to actually like paste this token. So yeah, but yeah, I'm still, I guess that's kind of up in the air whether or not I want to do that or not. But then we have actually updating the password. Pretty simple. You read the reset token item. As long as it's there, we're good. Otherwise, we throw some errors. You check that it's new, and then you update the password. And updating the password was one of those, you add in the update, you construct the update params, and then you call generic update. That's it. I also changed around when you create a user or sign up a user. So it, again, reads the application data, gets the verification URL, and then sends the verification email. I did since add a comment that is to make this asynchronous. I don't know how long it's going to take. I imagine SES is like an asynchronous API anyway. Like you send the email and then you wait, or you don't wait on it to send the email. It sends it off in the background, but maybe not. And let's see. This is for the token. I don't think I needed that out. Yeah, and that's it. Those were all the updates I made. So now what I'm going to do is, I guess I'm going to fix some linting errors, and then I'm going to try to actually deploy it. So, and the reason I do this a lot of times is because I have the API key. I don't think I have any. Yeah, this is where the authorization config gets used. Yeah. Create user, read user. I'll go in there. I had not thought about the authorizer in a long time, to be honest. So, but let's see. These. Let's see. Go through, you get the authorization. So these are for the endpoints like this, where it's users me, because you're changing yourself, so you need to already be authenticated. Get the authorization header, pull the token out, so you pretty much split bearer away from token. And you get the method ARN of the method you're trying to get to. Pull that stuff apart. You get the stage. Then you have the JWKS URL. This is where config. I don't think I've used a config. No, I can't just use the config. So do I have that in here? No, I do not. What is this? Oh yeah, that was another thing with the JWKS stuff. I was going to try to. Did I put that in a README? About what I was going to do? No, I didn't. Yeah, I needed some way. So right now, let's see, where is it? Didn't get token in here. The public key and the private key are just sitting there. But someone's gonna have to create those. So I need some sort of script to either a script or something else to generate those and then place them in the correct place. And then I was thinking of, so when you create a JWKS, actually, what about this? When you create a JWKS, it's fairly standard. You pretty much, at least with Jose, you can make it like this. So you pretty much read in a file, and then you create the public key, and then from the public key, it's just like it's type in or class in Jose. Then you can actually create the JWKS. And that's what it comes out with. What's this? Oh, that's a new one. So this is how you would create it like a brand new one, like dynamically with a public and private key, right? So this is, right, you generate the key pair, and that's from Jose, but yeah. Then you export it in a certain format, right? And then this logs it, just this little snippet so you can see it, and then it logs the public JWK. So that's what a JWK would look like, and then you can change it into JWKS that looks like this. So that's what that would look like. However, what I'm thinking is that a JWKS is just JSON. Um, so I could do one of two things. I could, well, I'm not going to generate this on the fly every time because that file is not going to change. At least ideally, it's not going to change, right? Your public and private key are not going to change because I think people would probably be thrown off by that. So you can push them to S3 and then have an API gateway directly call S3, get the JSON file, and return it. Didn't I do something like that? With a public and private? I could have sworn I started something like that. Maybe I was just dreaming it. I could have sworn I had like something along these lines that I was working on. So yeah, push it to S3, or I don't know if there's a way, an API gateway, to just give it JSON that it returns. I don't know, but if there is, then I could just do that. Oh, whoops. Mock integrations? Ah, okay. So yeah, maybe I'll just do something like this. That's pretty much all it is. It is just a mock. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. So yeah, the JWKS will have to be returned somewhere. But for now, do I need that? So if I'm authenticating myself, right, I could probably put these, well, I'd want to limit what could access the authentication service key. So I don't know if I'd want to put it in the shared layer, but I probably could. And same with this. And then those could be accessed from the authorizer and from here. Or I could do something similar, right? Because where did I read it in? Here's where I read it in. Yeah, I have should it live in S3. See, I could have sworn I did something along these lines. Oh. Ah, okay. There we go. That's what I was talking about with it. So I didn't actually do it. Yeah. So I guess I kind of went through it, but yeah, here we go. Here's the other bit. Maybe that's why I thought that I should go with S3. Because when you create an application, I guess the idea was when you create an application, do you want to create new keys for it? Because if you want to create new keys for it, then right, do you want one public and private key for everything, or do you want one per application? And I don't know the answer to that. I would think, from a security standpoint, that you would want one per application. So if one gets compromised, right, it doesn't affect all applications. That would be my guess. So maybe that's what I should do. Um, so this, and these would still have to be implemented. Yeah. Yeah. So this would have to get public key from S3. I probably wouldn't do it from S3. Should I do it from S3 or should I hit the API gateway itself? I feel like it'd be better to just do it from S3 because it should have knowledge of it as well. The authorizer should. So I'll use the maximum. For now, I will use this just so it potentially works. There's GWKS URL. It makes the or looks for certain claims. I don't look for any right now. I don't think I even. Yeah, I don't think there are any. I don't think I make any claims. Maybe an application can have specific application claims, but we have a payload, user ID is the payload sub. Is that actually what it is? Yes. Okay. Then we generate the policy based off of that. That's the user ID, and the user ID gets passed in. Okay. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's wrong, but what were the linting errors? Let's go way back to that. Those are never used. That's fine. Config is never used. I'll just comment that one out for now because I think I will use it eventually. No, I definitely don't need those. Expected property shorthand. Is it this? Probably from that. Boy, there are a lot of linting errors, aren't there? Let's see. There's that. Okay, now construct update. More than one blank line is not allowed. Oops, oops, oops. Bring the readme back up. Where is it? Update utils. Construct updates. There we go. I have 2 lines. Okay. Loggers assigned, but never given a value. Database sites. What did I keep this for? I don't think I use this anywhere. Right? Yeah, this is like, yeah. That's just old. I don't need this. Users. Refresh token sort key. It's not? I feel like it should be. Oh, it's refresh. Well, I'm not using that anymore. Unverified. Really? It's not? I feel like it should be. How do I... I'll just add that whenever it comes my way. How do you read sign in? Oh, they're just spelled differently, aren't they? That's why. Sign-in types is assigned but never used. Oh, I guess I should probably use that. Huh. Yeah. Instead of this. Okay. Now is defined but never used. On line 23. What? It's used all over the place. Oh, is it because I returned this? Well, let's get current timestamp. Let's do that, because that is kind of confusing. Okay. Yeah, now it's already defined. Verified sort key not defined. 0 space but found 1. 57. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Now is already declared. Add sign-in method. Application ID. Ooh, where's that one? 82. I don't know about that one. ID is defined but never used. Also on 82. Oh, it was probably from this. That's probably what it was. Method. No. Read adders was used before. Is defined. That's on 170. Or it was on 170. Where is it now? Oh, I probably just need to move this up. Now, construct updates was not defined. Oh, really? Oh. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that was, I didn't even catch that before. There's construct updates, missing semicolon on 243, or it was 243. Like that. Generic update was used before defined, and generic remove, same thing. So where's generic update? It's just there. And where's generic remove? Okay. And let's go again. All right. Authorizer still? Thought I changed that. Was that line 23? Oh. Okay. Database users still? Oh no, this is the new. Okay, so I did fix pretty much everything. It's just line 61. Okay. Hashing. Hashing. Should just have to save it. Yeah, it's probably right there. Hash is already declared in the scope. Oh. And then a missing semicolon. We'll call it that. Lambda adapter utils. Okay. Create user. Because it does it there, doesn't it? Oh. Where do I create a user? I'd imagine in like verification. Yeah, where do I actually create the user? Should be in here, right? And then I do create users, which should be in here. So after the email's been verified, I'll create email sign in. And I also need to create the user. This doesn't have any of the right. Is that supposed to, whenever you're verified, does it returns no content? It should probably return the user ID. Oh, it should be in here? Return ID. What was I doing? Oh. I create it whenever. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Is that what I had in here too? Unverified. Huh. Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think that should happen after they verify their email. So I'm going to take that out. User ID should not be in here, so let's take user ID out. And then I'll take that out of here. Oops. I'll move it into here. What did I have? What was it? This? Yeah. Okay. I think that's how you would do this. I'm pretty sure. This needs to return user ID. Which means that that also needs to return user ID. Boy, I didn't do the best job on this one. User ID equals that. And then this turns into what this was, which was good no output. I don't remember what it was. Oh, here. Right, because that doesn't return anything anymore. Yeah, just await that. That doesn't return it. So I had that correct. I don't know. I was just off. The logic is fine on that now. Now the index on this is good no output, and there is no return. Okay. And now on this one, there is a return. There's the user ID. We create it. We return the user ID. And this returns user ID, and this returns user ID. Okay. Well, that was a rabbit hole. Okay. I'm going to leave that and then relint because that was more than just a simple linting change. All right, back to ports. Line 22. This one. Password hash. Oh, I just put password. That's not right. Okay. Email not defined. That's in 29. Probably because it should be email hash. Another one. Password hash. Okay. Updates as defined but never used. That's 87. Oh. Right, this is applications.remove. Let's check to make sure that it only needs the ID. I don't see why it would need more than that. Yep, we're good on that. Send reset password email. Oh. Well, these are just pass-throughs anyway. So I'll just delete those and export them from here. Modules is not defined. What? Oh, it's a module. SES. Too many blank lines. Whoops. SES client is not defined. Oh. Yeah, I'd probably need to import that, huh? Is it this? No? Darn it. There we go. There's SES client, and I need this one. Send email command. Yep, okay. Body is constant. Oh. Need to let both of these because I add to them if there's a reset password. Missing semicolon. Probably on this one as well. Send email was used before it was defined. Okay. Semicolon, send email command, missing semicolon. So there's one in here, missing semicolon in here. Or here. There we go. I'm gonna lint again. Okay, strings must use single quote. Shared SES. What line is that? 1? Oh. I agree. Now we're on to delete application. Now, these ones, I don't know. I think it's that. So I'm going to get rid of the prefer destructuring rule. Where is it? Yeah. And that's going to clear a lot of it up. Put logic. Oh, what happened to the... I'm assuming this is what port passed in and what index passed in. I just didn't update it in my logic. Oh, it returns that. Never mind. Users me delete. Well, I didn't do any of these, so that's probably going to be valid on all those. But I'm not going to call those, so. Password post. What is not defined? Update password. Is that? All right, let's make sure it's actually in the ports. Update password. Application ID, email password hash. Okay. Users post logic. Create user and a line issue. Okay, I'm not surprised about that one. Create user. Okay, yeah, let's just delete that. And this will just indent. All right. Users token get. Probably logic. Sign JWT is not defined. Yeah, probably because I need to install email data. Where's email data? What's the problem with it? Is not defined. Oh. Okay, trailing space is not allowed. That'll be fixed with a save. Probably right there. Okay, so I need to go in here and I need to install Jose. Where is it? Applications. Oh, I have to do this. Application ID. Users token get. That's a lot. And then I need to npm install save Jose. Let's see, how did I do it in here? I knew there was something. And there's sign JWT. Okay. Let's make sure that did. Yeah. Okay. We have verification get. Find the logic. Read email, sign in verification. Okay. Space is required after comma. That was line 32. Oh. Okay. I thought that looked funky. User ID was used before it was defined. Oh. Okay. So it can't be like this. We need a const user ID is wait. Yeah. So we have to wait the user ID. Let's make sure the port returns the user ID. Yeah. Okay. And then synthetics, I don't care about that right now. Ooh. I don't know where that'll be. All right. A lot of things to lint. I didn't think that I would be linting for 40 minutes this morning. These I don't care about, and this I don't care about. Not right now, at least. So let's synthesize it, and then boy, oh boy, I need to collapse all these. And I'll start kind of working on what these API calls will look like. Probably not too far off from that, but I'll create a new one. It's called, and we'll go just from nothing. I'll do folder called full flow application. This will be a post with the JSON. There's no body, right? I don't think I have a body. So we'll need something in here. We'll call this dev, and this will be the endpoints. Oh, oops. Endpoint /1 slash applications, I believe. I'll create an application. I want to create a new one that is a get applications. Oh, also I'll need an API key. A lot of new things. And I'll also throw this out there. I realize that this is not necessarily the best way of going about creating something. I know that a better way would probably be to do it incrementally. Make sure that the things work before you move on to other things, because it breaks up the amount that you have to test and whatnot. But yeah, here we are. I'm just gonna do it all at once. What else did I need the readme, that's what I need. Applications by application ID, which is going to come from the body attribute and the earlier response. Yeah, never have to retrigger that. Then we'll have the put and the delete. This will be a put. Same thing, but with a JSON body. I think what were some of the things we could change? Maybe email from name. I don't think I actually added that in SES. Did I? Oh well. We'll do this. Reset password URL. Just do that. And then we'll get it afterwards to make sure it actually updated. Okay. Then we can delete it. There we go. But before that, we can create users. Something. That'll be something. I don't know what it'll be. That's not what I'll put future. seems so easy when you're actually doing it. You're actually going through it. Just writing these out. Just want to see if it works. Doesn't have to actually do anything. Alright, I think that's more or less what those endpoints look like, and then I need to make one to delete the user. But I can do that manually. Alright, since it's created. When I create a user, what happens? Do I update the amount, the application count? So I need to set up some sort of event bus to produce and consume events. And I'm thinking some of those would look like user signed in. Yeah, I need to do that. Let's see. In this, how many to-dos do I have? Okay, not a crazy amount. Form excludes created attribute. Okay. Update application count. Okay. I'll have to go through and do some of those to-dos. And I know myself, and I know that if I start trying to test these endpoints out, I'm not going to want to stop for a while until I like debug some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and call it for today. I didn't think linting would take 40 minutes, so I apologize that all you did was watch me lint. Hopefully there was some sort of value in it though. I mean, this is kind of my workflow, and if anything, I'm documenting it for myself. So, but it's out there. Yeah, I think. Well, there's so many to-dos that I still need to actually do. I think next time I'm gonna work on the to-dos. I'm gonna work on creating the SNS topic, and then, well, I already have an SNS topic, right? Yeah, there's my SNS topic. And that's what's sent on it. So I have my SNS topic. So I just need to create events, push those events, and then read them in my and act on them in my async stuff. So maybe that's what I'll do next time I get on and start looking. Um, yeah, it'll revolve around the SNS stuff. Yeah. Events. Yeah. I'll leave it there. I don't want to get too into the weeds on this, especially since I want to end it for today. So next time I'll do events and I'll try to clear up some of these to-dos. Um, yeah, and then I'll actually, and maybe I'll do these guys too. Maybe I'll just, do the rest of those. Ah, yeah, and I also have this. So, yeah. Let me make a to-do in the database stuff for all this because this does need to happen. So, or in here. When I post, I need to create RSA key. Create RSA key and upload to S3. Okay, and then I think in here, no, not in here. In here? Aha, yep. I'll just put a big old to do right next to it. Okay. And then in delete, I need to. Yeah. I wonder, so I've wondered this before, and I wonder if I could implement this now. Um, I wonder if I can just listen to, because AWS emits events. I wonder if I can just listen to events on certain endpoints and see if they work, right? Because this doesn't actually need to happen in the logic, right? A lot of this stuff doesn't actually have to happen in the logic. So instead of my endpoint emitting an event, I can consume an already existing event from API Gateway. I want to do that. I think that could be cool. But either way, I still need to delete. I still need to add these comments just so I remember. Um, so that's from S3. That's fine to leave in there. That's fine. I'm not going to do that now. And then these are I'm going to do as to do. Okay. So I got close, but not there. not actually to my testing yet. I still have some more code that I want to write. Again, I know this probably isn't, well, I know this isn't the best way to go about doing this. Oh, yeah, I have to get off. But yeah, I think, I know this isn't the best way to do this, but I know I should be deploying them, testing them before I move on to other stuff, but I'm just going to keep writing the code. Um, so it looks like 3 more endpoints, 4 more endpoints. Yeah, I still have to figure out how I'm going to do that, and then some eventing that I still want to figure out. So, yep, and I'll work on that stuff next time. So, thanks for watching. If you want any help like setting this stuff up or whatever, let me know. I'd be more than happy. I like it when people reach out when they uh, read my stuff or watch my stuff. So feel free. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.